lesson is brought to you by Kamikaze Burger, home of the double whammy. Now with 10% real beef.
Chemistry lesson will start in 3, 2, 1.
And now, the conclusion.
You may find yourself living in a shotgun shack. And you may find yourself in another part of the world. And you may find yourself behind the wheel of a large automobile. And you may find yourself in a beautiful house with a beautiful wife. And you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here?
Letting the days go by, let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by, water flowing underground into the blue again. After the money's gone, once in a lifetime, water flowing underground.
And you may ask yourself, how do I work this? And you may ask yourself, where is that large automobile? And you may tell yourself, this is not my beautiful house. And you may tell yourself, this is not my beautiful wife.
Letting the days go by, let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by, water flowing underground into the blue again. After the money's gone, once in a lifetime, water flowing underground.
Same as it ever was. 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 Same as it ever was.
Please understand, hypocrisy I hate most.
Indeed.
This is not pretending. No, do not pretend.
Mr. Delaney, perhaps...
The Leviathan of the seas, is it? The terrible shadow? The beast with a million eyes and a million ears? Conquest? Rape? Plunder? I studied your methods in your school. And I do know the evil that you do because I was once part of it.
Reflections of the way life used to be. Reflections of the love you took from me. Oh, I'm all alone now. No love to shield me. Trapped in a world that's a distorted reality. I missed the bus and there'll be hell today. I'm late for work again. And even if I'm there, they'll all imply that I might not last the day. And then you call me and it's not so bad. It's not so bad. And I want to thank you for giving me the best day of my life. Oh, just to be with you is having the best day of my life. Push the door, I'm home at last, and I'm soaking through and through. And then you handed me a towel, and all I see is you. And even if my house falls down now, I wouldn't have a clue, because you're near me. And I want to thank you for giving me the best day of my life. And oh, just to be with you is having the best day of my life. And I want to thank
Welcome to Vox System. How may I help you?
I didn't see you there.
How may I help you, sir?
What is that thing?
That is my photonic memory core, or a PMC as we say in the trade. Over here, sir.
What are you?
I'm the Fifth Avenue Public Library Information Unit. Box registration NY-114. How may I help you?
Oh, a stereopticon of some sort.
Stereopticon? Oh, no, sir. I am a third-generation fusion-powered photonic with verbal and visual link capabilities connected to every database on the planet.
A photonic?
A compendium of all human knowledge. Area of inquiry?
Do you know anything about physics?
Ah, accessing physics.
Mechanical engineering? Dimensional optics? Phonography? Temporal causality? Temporal paradox?
Time travel?
Yes.
Accessing science fiction?
No, practical application. My question is, why can't one change the past?
Because one cannot travel into the past.
What if one could?
One cannot.
Excuse me, this is something you should trust me on.
Accessing the writings of Isaac Asimov, H.G. Wells, Harlan Ellison, Alexander Hardigan.
Oh, tell me about him.
Alexander Hardigan, 1869 to 1903. American scientist given to eccentric postulation. Found writings include treatise on the creation of a time machine.
Tell me about the time machine.
Time Machine was written by H.G. Wells in 1894. It was later adapted to a motion picture by George Powell and a stage musical by Andrew Lloyd Webber, which ran on
that's
Broadway
not
for
what I
23
mean.
years. Would you like to hear selections from the score?
No.
There's a place called Tomorrow, a place of joy.
Not of sorrow, can't you see? It's a place for
Thank you.
and
That's quite enough.
Will there be anything else?
No. I think I'll have better luck in a few hundred years.
Live long and prosper.
I shall have to controvert one or two ideas that are almost universally accepted. The geometry equations they taught you at school is founded on a misconception. I do not mean to ask you to accept anything without reasonable grounds for it. You will soon admit as much as I need from you. You know, of course, that a mathematical line, a line of thickness nil, has no real existence. They taught you that?
Yes, sir, Pop.
Neither has a mathematical plane. These things are mere abstractions. Nor, having only length, breadth, and thickness, can a cube have a real existence. Can an instantaneous cube exist? Can a cube that does not last for any time at all have a real existence? Clearly, any real body must have extension in 4 directions. It must have length, breadth, thickness, and duration. But through a natural infirmity of the flesh, which I will explain to you in a moment, we incline to overlook this fact. There are really 4 dimensions. 3, which we call the 3 planes of space, and a 4th, time. There is, however, a tendency to draw an unreal distinction between the former 3 dimensions and the latter, because it happens that our consciousness moves intermittently in one direction along the ladder from the beginning to the end of our lives. Professor Simon Newcomb was expounding this to the New York Mathematical Society only a month or so ago. You know how on a flat surface, which only has 2 dimensions, we can represent a figure of a 3-dimensional solid. And similarly, they think that by models of 3 dimensions, they could represent one of 4 if they could master the perspective of the thing. See? Well, I do not mind telling you I've been at work upon this geometry of 4 dimensions for some time. Some of my results are curious. For instance, here's a portrait of a man at 8 years old, another at 15, another at 17, another at 23, and so on. All these are evidently sections, as it were, 3-dimensional representations of his 4-dimensional being, which is a fixed and unalterable thing. Scientific people know very well that time is only a kind of space. Long ago, I had a vague inkling of a machine that shall travel indifferently in any direction of space and time as the driver determines. But I have an experimental verification. This little affair is only a model. It is my plan for a machine to travel through time. You will notice that it looks singularly askew, and that there is an odd twinkling appearance about this bar, as though it was in some way unreal. Also, here's one little white lever, and here's another. It took 2 years to make. Now I want you to clearly understand that this lever being pressed over sends the machine gliding into the future, and this other reverses the motion. The saddle represents the seat of a time traveler. Presently, I'm going to press a lever, and off the machine will go. It will vanish, pass into future time, and disappear. Have a good look at the thing. Look at the table, too, and satisfy yourselves there is no trickery. I don't want to waste this model and then be told I'm a quack.